in order to continue the reconstruction and developmental work there. Our dear viewers, to shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Yomn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Ain Shams University. Dr. Yomn, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Yomn, earlier today, President Sisi participated in a ceremony marking the lineup of equipment participating in the implementation of the Sinai Development and Reconstruction Plan. What's your take on that?
Actually, all Egyptians should be quite delighted and happy to know that a very important part of Egypt, Sinai, that we won the war of 1973 and returned back Sinai into Egypt as a very, precious part of Egypt. We need all to, get the best of maximum of benefit from this precious land, since we have a lot of resources in Sinai that are not exploited yet and can add to large extent to the potentiality of economic growth in Egypt. Sinai is full of resources, mineral resources, natural resources, as well as the potentialities for tourism and so on. So, unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to seize such opportunities since infrastructure, wasn't quite enough in Sinai and to attract, people to go there and to find opportunities of job and to make the reconstruction of Egypt and to advise people to go there and to benefit from the resources and to invest on Sinai. I believe nowadays with all efforts that have been done during the last years, this is the first time since decades, since we returned back Sinai into Egypt, that we can see, tunnels connecting all parts of Egypt with Sinai, and it cost Egypt a lot in order to do that, but it's quite feasible economically, since this connection can make a lot regarding a better exportation of resources. We have in Sinai more than 2 to 3 million faddans that can be cultivated, taking into consideration a salam canal that can, irrigate such land. And I believe that Sinai can be cultivated with very, very expensive type of agriculture, like herbs and flowers, and these can represent very important part, not only for exportation for Egypt, but to be manufactured as food industry and so on, and improve, the potentiality of Egypt for exportation. We need to attract people to go there, since nowadays we have infrastructure, we have electricity, we have all types of services that can make a community, like health services, like educational services. And above all of this, which is quite important, is security, since we succeeded, fortunately, to address, terrorism. And nowadays we have a very, peace land that in which we can exploit our resources in a better way. What we need to do is to plan quite good what economic activities. We need an investment map for Sinai, taking into consideration all types of resources as mineral resources and agricultural resources, as well as all types of, on top of them, human resources. That we have Sinai people that can have a better quality of life by being engaged in investment and having opportunities of job, as well well
Yes.
as Sinai is a very important place to attract people from all other governorates. And, you know, when I am teaching as a professor in university, I'm teaching my students and ask them if they would like to go to Sinai, if they can find an opportunity of job and a good infrastructure, and they are all agree that can be a very good opportunity for them. So all Egyptians are looking forward for such, development for Sinai and raising opportunities of job for youth, for women, and to be gathered with Sinai people and to make development and to improve all the potentialities for having a very good standard of living and opportunities of a better life there.
Yes. Also, the Prime Minister, in his address today to the ceremony, said that since 2014, the state was keen on working on the development of the infrastructure of the Sinai Peninsula by reconstruction of roads and new bridges linking Sinai to the rest of the country. What's your take on that, Dr. Yomn? How do you see the significance of developing the infrastructure of Sinai and linking it and creating more closer link with the rest of Egypt?
Actually, this is a precondition in order to have economic activities. Since when you have agricultural projects or industrial projects, you need markets. Either these markets are internal or external, and I believe that roads and infrastructure can play a significant role towards linking Sinai with other parts of Egypt or abroad. And this is the infrastructures that have been done in Sinai can actually provide a very important opportunity towards reducing the cost of production and improving the competitiveness of such products. So I believe that nowadays, after all these efforts that have been done in Sinai, we can have good opportunities in, using our resources and to increase value added in different types of economic activities. And this infrastructure can allow a very good opportunity for marketing such a product.
Yes. Also, Dr. Yomn, billions of pounds were spent for the investment in the field of developing education, as well as many social elements in Sinai to develop the people of Sinai themselves. How do you see here the role that should be also played by the private sector and the NGOs in order to work in parallel with the government in order to continue in developing the social projects in Sinai as well as the educational projects in Sinai?
This is a very important lesson. I believe that what we need as government, besides what we are declaring nowadays about offered opportunities in Sinai and the importance of infrastructure, and actually expending all such amount of money, billions, like you mentioned, may necessitate that we have to invest this money in more opportunities of job, in more value added, in developing our capability of production for exportation so that Egypt can address challenges, economic challenges confronting Egypt nowadays after Russian-Ukrainian war. So actually these are opportunities. What we need to do is to elaborate more about the condition of investment, to ease the environment for investment, to attract investors and elaborate on the opportunities of investment and how to facilitate, the environment of investment and specifically since Sinai having its specific condition regarding investment. We believe that transparency in, providing such opportunities may play a significant role towards attracting investors.
Yes. Dr. Yomn, as you have kindly mentioned, although we are facing many challenges due to the repercussions of the COVID-19 and the Russian-Ukrainian war, which is still going on, how we can work on getting and attracting more investment here in Egypt with all these developmental projects and infrastructure development working on and going on the ground?
Yes, if you ask investors about the main challenges confronting investment in Egypt, you may find a lot of things that should be addressed properly, taking into consideration procedures, bureaucracy, corruption.
Yes.
Still, we have a lot of challenges confronting our environment of investment, and the government is taking its responsibility to address such challenges, but still investors need more efforts to be exerted, specifically when in this time after a crisis, and all countries of the world are trying to attract investment. So the responsibility is much severe for Egypt, how to make these opportunities quite clear, how to promote for such opportunities. I believe, and according to what I can see, that still the investors, a lot of investors, specifically in Gulf areas, they are looking forward for opportunities, profitable opportunities of investment, but still we are not quite good in providing and promoting our opportunities. Egypt nowadays and after the mega project can have a very profitable investment in different fields of the sectors of the economy. So what we need to do is to exert more efforts toward elaborating on these opportunities and try to promote it and to facilitate the environment for investment so that we can enhance our potentialities for more investment and more opportunities of job for our youth.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Yomn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University. Always a pleasure to listen to your precious input. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of our special coverage for the ceremony, which was attended earlier today by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the reconstruction of Sinai. Maestri Rabia signing off.